Hey guys, welcome back to Psychonaut. I am your host, Sodom, otherwise known as Psychonaut. You can call me Sodom, you can call me Psycho, you can call me whatever you want. Um, I am here tonight to do another gameplay video for you. I'm going to start a new series. This is going to be more of a formal Let's Play series. Um, and tonight we are, for me, revisiting, and we're, as a group, visiting a game that's very near and dear to my heart. And I would honestly say this is probably the most important piece of horror media for me. It has been one of the most consistent things that rises to the top of my favorites lists every time I try to conjure them up. It's something that never really wanes or moves place from that at all, no matter what new media I consume and uh, stack against it. It's something that has been a very, very deep aesthetic drive during the uh, growth and development of my own art practice and also my tastes in horror media. I feel like ever since I first kind of felt the magic of this game and wrapped my head around it as a kid, I've always been chasing the dragon, and nothing has been quite the same as the initial uh, deep impact of this game was. Um, Tonight we are going to start a playthrough of Rockstar's 2003 hit Manhunt, a game that was uh, subject to a litany of controversies back in the day when it was released, and in this particular case, I'm not really sure that I disagree with the fanfare there. I think that Rockstar definitely wanted to spark and push those controversies. That was kind of their MO at the time. And they were riffing off of the outcry and the outrage that was happening as a result of the Grand Theft Auto series. But Manhunt is an entirely different breed of killer, if you will. This game and then later franchise with just the two entries is something that for being released by a mainstream company is it's very novel. It's a very standout sort of a thing, because it just seems so niche compared to the kinds of aesthetics that you would see them pursue in other areas. Um, I think that horror is pretty universal, but the specific types of horror that Rockstar chose to tackle with their entries, with Manhunt and Manhunt 2, is taking inspiration from a lot deeper cuts than the typical horror game would, as far as ripping off of films and other types of media goes. Rockstar is no stranger to talking about how they are very heavily influenced by film aesthetics when they write games, but Manhunt and Manhunt 2 are a whole different thing. It seems like they are pulling from really niche, really underground, really extreme examples of horror, and I have seen more and more of its DNA presented to me as I got older and sought out more niche and more underground and more extreme horror in film and literature, in uh, countercultural or underground aesthetics, etc., etc. This game is pretty monumental for me. It's still something I aesthetically try to use as a drive, uh, and I'm really fortunate to have been able to get into this game at the time that I did, and it still is so special to me even to this day. So I'm really excited to jump into a playthrough for you guys and maybe go down memory lane, reminisce a little bit, but also give a fresh playthrough with the Blood Moon mod, which is going to be pretty exciting. I'm excited to show that for you guys. So without further ado, I think we're going to go ahead and jump into the game now. What is up, guys? We are going to check out Manhunt, the Blood Moon mod specifically. What this mod does is it is marketed as the end all for Manhunt mods. It's a just general, like, across the board quality of life improvement for the game. Everything runs really fast. Everything is much more up the snuff, if you will. Very, very kinetic, very tweaked and fine tuned. The textures in the game have been resampled from the sources and are doubled in quality. The the stealth mechanics are a little more tight. The hunters can see you from much further away. You have to really pay attention to what you're doing. Gunplay has been altered. Guns are more powerful and more realistic in the way that they operate. Uh, lots of really good quality of life improvements, and I've played through this mod and really enjoyed my time with it. So I'd love to show it to you guys. We are going to do this playthrough on fetish difficulty, but rather than hardcore, so that I can show the radar for people who are interested in that and might get increased tension from seeing the enemies on the radar as play is happening. We may do some more runs of this vanilla or with mods, etc., on different difficulties in the future, whether it be a formal Let's Play series or streaming. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump in. Jump in with the blood mod. Sorry for going on for so long.
It looks like this goes all the way to the top. I can't trust anyone, least of all the police, and time's running out. I've got to get the one piece of evidence that will expose Starkweather without a shadow of a doubt. Footage and testimony of a man who was executed by the state 5 hours ago. James Earl Cash, found guilty and sentenced to death, has been on death row for the past 3 years and was executed last night.
Hey, tough guy, wake up. You're not dead. Well, not yet, anyway. You're getting a second chance. Another throw of the dice. As far as the world is concerned, you died back in the chamber. Justice was served. James Earl Cash is rotting in hell. Hey, get a grip and calm down. You're probably suffering from shock, and I'm here to help. Pick up the earrings. Put it on. Go on. That's better. Now only you can hear me. And that's the way you're gonna want it, because I'm your only way out of here. Hey, easy. Look, you've had an unexpected reprieve. Do exactly as I say, and I promise this will be over before the night is out. These streets are being patrolled by gangs. They're scum, just like you. And they're here to hunt you down and cut you up. I'll try to direct you as best I can, but other than that, you're on your own. It's up to you. Okay, are you ready? Kara, action.
Alright, so real quick, we're not going to be playing this particular playthrough with the noise filter on that comes with the game. I think that I understand where people are coming from for hardcore fans and purists that think that that really adds to the overall aesthetic, but in this case, I really do want to showcase this mod a little bit, because I think it's worth seeing all of the work that went into kind of reworking the game and bringing it up to snuff for a PC experience. I think it's really cool to see the work that went into it. There are even just really cool little ambient effects added that just weren't there before that really add a lot to the experience for me. The telltale kind of trademark or signature of the mod is going to be that the blood moon is replacing the regular moon in all of the maps in the game. I thought that was a really cool touch. It's not super invasive, but it's also something that lets you know what you're playing, and I thought that was a really neat little idea for the devs to do that. Love the inclusion of that cool lighting in the window up there. That wasn't there before. I'm almost certain it wasn't anyway. Same with those over there. They've really added a lot of elements that make the world feel a little more fleshed out, a little more real, and also added just by having lights in these windows and things, make it more apparent that the things that are happening under the noses of impoverished citizens of Carcer City, which is a city that exists within the game universe that the rest of the Rockstar games take place in, with like the Grand Theft Auto series. Um, Carcer is alluded to and talked about in several of the Grand Theft Auto games. Um, it is based on Rust Belt cities around the Chicago, Lake Michigan area, especially Gary, Indiana, which is not super far away from where I live. So I thought that was a very interesting thing. It's based heavily off of Gary and Detroit. But yeah, the idea that these 6 snuff games are being recorded and this organized crime is happening under the noses of all these citizens who can do nothing but stay out of the way and stay in their apartments is pretty wild to think about. And a lot of these places were completely pitch black before, so it's really neat to see those added touches. I think it just really expands on the game world and makes it even more immersive.
Go on. I'll be frank with you. We set that jump up to see if you had what it takes to be our leading man. A little audition, if you will.
Just double checking, making sure everything was recording well. Yeah, I think if there's anything that I have known to be true after finding and talking to any other Manhunt fans in my life, it has been that even for people who haven't touched the game in years and years, the thing that they remember is that first basic execution with the plastic bag back there. Like, that's imagery that really sticks in the minds of people who have had experiences with this game. It's always the first thing that people talk about when we talk about the game at all. It's just like, oh, I love that. The plastic bag execution with it sucking on the face and you can see the mouth, and etc. etc. Yeah. I mean, they really hit home run with memorable imagery in that sense.
Finish him.
Let's do it red.
Beautiful. You're warming up our audience nicely.
Yeah, so the increased texture quality here is just so cool. The space feels so much larger than life now compared to what it feels like when you're playing this game, super compressed with a static filter on a PS2 and possibly on like a CRT TV. There's just, it's crazy to compare the two. It's just so wild to be able to see it like this. And if you're somebody who hasn't visited the game since it was new and you played it on that type of hardware, I hope that this is a really, really cool refresher and a really cool look at some new quality of life updates. Can you tell I'm excited to play this for a YouTube channel? I love this game. I love it so much. Just so unique. Such a cool experience. It's super crazy to me that there aren't more indie horror games that try to emulate this game. I've always wondered why. I've always wondered if it was just a lack of interest from anybody that actually has the wherewithal to know how to create games, or if it's just that there's some kind of technical aspect with the execution system that people don't want to touch, or what it is. But I would love to see that happen. I've seen like developers like Puppet Combo mess around with executions and some of the demo things that they've shown off in the past on like their Patreon and stuff, but never. I don't think they've implemented it into any full game experiences. I would love to see a Manhunt ripoff from Puppet Combo. I think that would just be a dream come true. I could probably die happy if that happened, honestly. I feel like it's the only thing missing from their roster at this point in terms of like types of games that I want to see them do. Let's do a yellow. Don't want to risk it.
I knew you'd be a natural.
More health back here if we need it.
Now just take your time, Cash. I see a few hoods around these vans. Sorry, I should explain. Each gang has their, let's just call it, their thing. These guys call themselves the Hoodz, but none of that should bother you. As far as you're concerned, they're meat. Okay, on you go.
Yeah, so my first experience with this game was I can't remember exactly what age I was. I think I had to have been maybe 10 or 11, maybe even earlier than that. Uh, but my dad had got this game, uh, and I was over at his house one weekend, and he wanted to show it to me, and he was a lifelong horror fan, and I thankfully inherited that from him, and we had a lot of really cool bonding moments over video games and movies and stuff. Um, but yeah, so he. Oh shit! See, okay, he saw the corpse, not me. I don't think. Uh, but he got Manhunt, and when he was playing it in front of me, I remember being really upset by it. Like not to the point where it was like I said not to play it or anything. Like it wasn't like oh, it made me cry or anything super extreme, but like I just remember the feeling of dread that it gave me because it was very effective to me. The horror of it was very effective to me. I thought the idea of it, the game aspect of it, the interactive nature of it, there was something like really sick about the whole premise, across the board. And like anything that would give me that reaction, it became something that I felt the need to conquer in some way. It was almost like kid me was like, no, you can brave it, you can do it, you have to stand up to your fear. So I eventually picked it up myself after I think seen him play the entire campaign. And I decided to give it a try. And when I did this, it was another weekend, well after the fact, and he was actually at work. He was working at a Pizza Hut at the time, and so he was away for work, and he would come home around between like 9 to 11 each night that he worked, just depending on how busy they were, and he would do delivery driving and things, and there was a lot of times that I was there alone for like a few hours in the evenings. I'd get like dropped off at like 6 or 7 while my grandfather was home, and he kind of kept to himself. So I would have my dad's space to myself and his media collection of movies and video games, and that was the proving grounds, man. That was where I would face my fears all by myself. I would have hours alone in this. His room was in a basement. It was in a furnished basement, separate from the rest of the house where my grandpa was hanging out, and I was real scared of the dark. I was really easily spooked by the atmosphere of horror media, and that was the proving grounds. That was where
That's
the
the
magic
stuff.
happened. That's where the trauma happened. I would I would do all kinds of I would just watch and play all kinds of shit I shouldn't have been, just scaring the hell out of myself, just to show that I could do it. And I remember sitting down and doing that with Manhunt, and at some point, I think it was by like the third or fourth level,
Cut him up.
it just became a whole other thing. Like I was in it, like I was in the gameplay loop, and I was really feeling it, really immersed, really getting into the vibe and the character of the game. And I think a lot of that had to do with just the insanely well done atmosphere that this game creates for itself. So good, 2-star, nice. Yeah. Well, that was a slow show it off kind of playthrough, so it's fine. We'll go for maybe we'll go for some like 5-star hardcore mode runs at some point. I think that would be fun to do. But for right now, just visiting the game and having a fun trip down memory lane.
You're doing fine, Cash. Just fine. We're getting some great material here. Keep going.
Yeah. But I think one of the things that has stood out and really stood the test of time for me, is the soundtrack for this game. Uh, Rockstar's old heavyweight guy that used to compose for everything, Craig Connor, knocked this fucking soundtrack out of the park. I just really have yet to hear anything in a video game that soundtrack wise, that I came to love as fully and as
You got
deeply
a
as
real
I did
taste for this.
this score. And obviously, that has a lot to do with my interest in horror, but it's just such an expert horror score as well. And there are so many motifs, there are so many different themes that are variations of the same theme, but with completely different instrumentation and completely different arrangements, and little things that harken back to other ones from previous levels throughout the entire game. And just listen to this, man. Listen to this.
Well, he ain't here.
So good. Don't. That's so. It's good shit.
I knew you'd be a natural. Tear him up.
Like honestly, it's pretty insane how much, like playing this on older hardware. It's pretty insane how much the score of this game carries the atmosphere in places that it is rougher around the edges, or that it's shown its age. Because this is essentially, it's just a modified version of the same engine that they would use for GTA San Andreas. Um,
You're gonna
and
have to
that's,
buy something to bust that
that's a
nut
pretty
out.
cutting edge game for the time, but mostly because of the scale of the game. But in terms of if things were scaled down like they are for this and these individual maps and levels, it's not much of a powerhouse, as far as games go. Come on, buddy. So what effects they did implement in this, and then the sound design really just that's what elevates it, and it's insane. It's insane how solid it is. And I think it really shows how important sound design is for horror in general, when it comes to visual or playable horror media. Hell yeah, baseball bat time. There's one thing you could do. Don't have his head is in the concrete. There we go. You could smash their heads. I don't remember how to do first person. I can look back that way. Oh no, I picked up his body. It's okay. You don't have to see it up close right now. Do it in a different video or something. The moving camcorders. Big blood moon. Awesome baked in lighting here, and then the lighting effects as well. The lens flares. Ooh. Ooh, it looks so good. I love it. This mod's rad. Let's get back into the shadow a little bit. It's coming right in here too. Almost walked right into his field of vision like an idiot. Here's another classic execution. Ooh, good wall for it too. I've got brain matter stuck on the wall there. Oh, it actually fell off now, but there's blood spats, and then sometimes brain matter will stick to the wall and it'll slowly fall off, so by the time the execution is over, you can watch it like and make nasty little meat noises as it comes down, which is pretty wild. I don't think you could do that in any other game in 2003. It was pretty fucked. Gonna have to do a quick one on him. It's fine. Closed casket. Not that I think he's probably going to get a funeral. I'm sure the body would be disposed in a really not proper way if you were a gang member participating in this. So one thing that the mod did too is that they've added a lot of new texture work, including just little like graffiti additions and quality of life stuff to add immersion besides just the lighting and stuff I mentioned earlier. Like some of the graffiti you see here on the walls. And some of these crazy billboards and shit that they've added around too. I think that was pretty cool. Pretty cool. Checkpoint. Uh-oh. What was that all about? Oh, how dare you burst?
Don't do it. A crowbar. That would be ideal for it. Smashing a padlock, say.
It's just a game, man. Don't put yourself through this shit. Show yourself.
He's right down there. Just gonna turn around to that sound. Looks like he's gonna keep going that way, so we're gonna walk up on him. We can get in the dark before he turns around, I think. Okay, there we go. He did not turn around. So that's good.
Shit!
They mean business, Cash.
He shoots me. Oh shit.
position.
Yeah, see, okay, so that guy would not have seen me in the standard game. That's something that got added for the mod, which I think is pretty
I
cool.
can't see him
Hunters can
anymore.
see you from like a fucking mile. It's like they're really looking for you. It really adds to it. They don't feel like dumb NPCs. Or at least not nearly as dumb, you know, still within the realm of reason to make the game work and not just be insanely difficult, but, you know. I think for this first video, we're going to do the first 3 levels of the game before a scenery change. And by the time we get to the junkyard, I'm going to go ahead and call it for a first episode.
Okay, this is what I like to call a setup. This guy will fight dirty, but once you're through with him, I'll open the next door.
Never heard of the concept. There we go.
Hey, heads up, boys. The shit.
Hey, hell yeah. So you can't get up to 5 stars when you're only playing on easy difficulty or fetish. The max you can get is 4, so that was a super good run for easy difficulty. We got all 4. That went super smooth. Right. I also interact with some objects. Kick shit around, which is pretty cool. Let's get the dark.
Okay, so I scare you. It's understandable.
It was just a kitty cat.
Ain't nothing
It's just
here
a stray
but rat
cat.
shit.
Knocked over the cans. Or a trash panda. It wasn't little old me, that's for sure. See if we can get a red on this guy. Oof. That execution's so fucking
You're
brutal.
warming up our audience nicely.
Unreal. From like a technical standpoint, like animation, you know, it's just impressive, just well animated, not from like a visceral, psycho pleasure sort of thing. Of course, of course.
I'm gonna fuck you over real good.
Oh, I bet you are. Right through the net. Let's do a standard. I'm just gonna try and add variety, and not worry about trying to like get all red kills or as close to that as possible or anything like that. Just want to showcase all of the different executions and animations.
Jeez, man.
Yeah, one thing that's pretty cool that you can take the time to appreciate with some of these maps is that they're the way they're interconnected is pretty neat. once you get through to the next level, you can look and see locations from the previous levels in a lot of them. So it kind of shows that they're a bigger, sprawling area, and they're not like artificially blocked off in a way where it's just like random city streets, you know? Like they actually designed this out to be different scenes in one larger location that's been broken up, which I thought was really cool. That scared the shit out of me when I first played this.
Where are you? You think you're real clever.
I should probably give the hunters some time to talk while they're looking so you can hear some of the fun voice lines. They say some wacky shit sometimes. It's really funny.
Now, find your way to the cellar door.
Especially the Hoodz. I think they're pretty goofy. A lot of the other gangs are either a little more serious in performance, or they have like a really thick kind of like shtick that they do. But the Hoodz have more of an everyman like kind of vibe, and so it's just funny. Lots of a almost like a Bostonian like kind of a vibe. It's interesting.
I don't blame you, Hyde.
Good.
Backup's arrived.
Oh shit! Someone saw me. Oh yeah, yeah. Long draw distance. And now we have 3 on us. Because of course. Okay.
We're gonna get you.
Okay. Alright, so 2 followed.
This in his pants somewhere.
One thing with the green weapons is they make significantly less noise when you execute a hunter with them. So, unless you're like right next to somebody and you use one, they won't hear it. They won't immediately know your position.
I need a hand over here. Oh yeah. This guy won't be getting back up anytime soon.
Keep walking. It's okay. We went for the kill instead of getting seen again.
Your name, boy. Mark my words.
I was gonna try and get a red, but that's fine. It's dark. I think rather than attracting this guy, I'm just gonna let him do his thing. So I think if I let him walk in his guard pattern, he's less likely to just be doing sudden 180s. Unless he just decides he doesn't want to go down these steps. You fucker. Okay, it's fine. Watch. It's the kind of game where it's like you think you have the AI down to a science, and then they do something unpredictable. Meat, little meat chunk. It's like if you say they're gonna do one thing, they'll definitely do something else. I feel like that's just some universal law of Manhunt AI.
What's the...
Ooh, whoops. He was close. Too close. Let's see. I don't have a green. Let's do crowbar.
Nothing. Shit. I could do with some more action.
The hoods are a little goofy, but they're definitely not nice. As you can see, they have hanging bodies set up. There were actually some of these in the last location. I should have explored the building a little more, and you can interact with them and they're squishy. But maybe I'll do that in another playthrough. You suck.
I know you're
It's a
around here
great
somewhere,
slogan.
bastard. Okay, I'll check it out.
Down here. Down here
I'm
where
gonna
it's
get
safe.
mine.
Come down here away from your group.
Nothing.
So this one has just a bunch of, like, scars on his arms, and I'm assuming that that's just because they're all on drugs, and he's just, like, walking around trying to hype himself up by, like, fucking cutting on himself. Either that, or maybe he's, like, a DSBM guy, but I'm not sure that that's really the point. Although with the black hood, like, maybe, who knows. I don't think that's what they were going for with the design, but, you know, you never know.
Shit, I could have sworn.
I mean, it's a game company. There had to be some nutso neckbeard dude on staff who was real deep into I'm suicidal music.
Brandon, let's get some more bodies over here.
No, it's not. Fuck.
We got a man
Thought
down.
I'd get red before. Let's just do yellow. Yep, he's turned around. Hey, that little piece of meat never fell. It's just stuck right there. Okay, that's funny. He's sticky boy.
Whoa.
He got sticky little brains.
Guy, you.
He got sticky little brains. Sticky little brain boy. Stinky, sticky little brain boy. That's what he was.
That Gibbs gotta be around here someplace.
His brain was perfectly cooked. It was perfectly al dente. That's why it stuck on the wall that good.
Gonna string him up and have some fun.
Yeah. Are you? Not a great angle. That's fine. Rat. Very low poly rat. You can check out the cool low poly art idea here with the multiple follow through floors of this library and the lights above. I thought that was a pretty cool design. It looks so much better in this mod. You don't really get this cool sense from it at all in the original game when you're looking up at that. Alright, here's a gate out of here.
Get ready, boys. He's coming.
Is that necessary? They need to beat him up that bad. Alright. New area. New gang.
Okay, you limp dick faggots. Let's give Mr. Starkweather a show to remember. Move it!
Okay, so I lied. We haven't quite wrapped this gig up. But hey, you're having fun, right? There's a double gate that leads on through to our next location. Find it.
Alright, this is where I'm going to call it for this first video. The next gang we get to fight are the neo-Nazi skinheads. The skins, with the Z. This will be a fun time. I really love this particular section of the game. And I'm going to have a lot of fun showing it off to you guys. But this is where we're going to cap it for this one. So without further ado, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for giving me some of your time. Check out the stuff I have on the end card for links to some of my other socials or store pages or anything if you want to check out the other stuff I'm working on separate from gaming, which is artwork for indie horror films and my own artwork that's also horror art. Uh, but yeah, I think I'm going to have a lot of fun with the series, and hopefully you guys will too. So take it easy and have a good one, guys. Here's an outro for you.